Hello everyone. The moment you stop worrying about what others think, you set yourself free. When a Sigma female lets go of this concern, everyone notices the change. She's not the type to openly show her feelings or seek approval from others. Instead, she lives by her own rules, standing firm in self-respect and independence. But when she chooses to withdraw her attention from people, situations, or expectations that don't benefit her anymore, something incredible happens. Her quietness speaks volumes, her boundaries become unbreakable, and her concentration sharpens. You are unique. You've never fit into the box society wanted to put you in, and there's no reason to start now. Being a Sigma female means you have the bravery to go do it alone when necessary, the insight to see past false fronts, and the resolve to put yourself first without feeling sorry. If you've ever been tired from caring too much or always putting others before yourself, this video will show you why pulling back can be the most liberating choice you'll ever make. It's time to embrace your own strength. Watch now to see what unfolds when you detach yourself. Let's get started, everyone. Number 1, a hidden strength comes to light. When a Sigma female stops caring, a deep change occurs within her. A powerful energy emerges, an innate strength that doesn't rely on others' approval or praise. This energy comes from deep self-confidence. She becomes unwavering, unaffected by the opinions of others or the pressures of society. The world, which used to be daunting and unpredictable, turns into a game board where she moves with clear intent and sharp focus. Free from the usual expectations, she no longer follows the typical rules. What others think doesn't influence her, and the norms set by society have no impact on her. She lives by her own rules, following her inner guide, and each choice she makes is deliberate and boldly her own. She doesn't seek approval because her confidence is built on her self-knowledge. She understands who she is, what she desires, and how to achieve it. What might have appeared as hesitation or indecisiveness before is now her advantage. Her strength lies in the quiet, solid confidence she carries. She no longer looks for validation from the outside because she doesn't need it to shape her identity. As she unlocks this hidden strength, she transforms into someone powerful. Her energy changes, and so does her impact. Those who underestimated her or tried to hold her back realize they were not in control. Now, she's the one shaping her own destiny, and everyone around her has to adjust. The Sigma female doesn't seek approval or wait for a green light. She forges her own way and makes choices that are entirely up to her, without ever saying sorry. Number 2. A quiet transformation starts to unfold. When a Sigma female loses interest, she starts a quiet revolution that takes everyone by surprise. She doesn't cause a commotion or declare her plans. There are no loud arguments, no big shows, and no public outbursts. Instead, she subtly maneuvers in the background, acting with such care and patience that no one can guess what she's up to. Others may overlook her or miss the shifts she's creating, but once the outcomes begin to surface, they're undeniable. Her approach is straightforward: focus, act, and give it time. She feels no need to share every move she makes or justify her actions to anyone. The noisy, showy tactics others use to grab attention or approval don't interest her. She's not aiming to dazzle anyone with spectacles or commotion. She aims to make genuine, enduring changes. While others get tangled in fleeting triumphs or hollow words, the Sigma female is building the foundation for something much bigger. Her plans are thought out, intentional, and often go unnoticed until they're well underway. And when the effects of her actions become apparent, it's too late for anyone to interfere. Her revolution doesn't seek applause or accolades. It's all about the results. She isn't trying to convince anyone of her value or skills. She validates herself through her deeds, and when the world finally notices, they'll see that her silent revolution was never about making noise. It was always about the subtle strength of a woman who is fully aware of her actions and their purpose. Number 3. Her time becomes completely off-limits to others. When a Sigma female starts to detach, she fiercely guards her time like a precious treasure. She stops wasting it on people, situations, or activities that suck her energy or bring nothing beneficial into her life. Every moment is spent with intention, and she guards it with strict focus. Those who used to take her for granted soon understand that they have to earn her attention, not expect it. Her priorities change almost instantly. She cuts out pointless chats, going nowhere relationships, or harmful commitments. Anything or anyone that doesn't boost her well-being, joy, or peace gets dropped immediately. She doesn't broadcast this shift or wait for approval. She just stops participating, and her absence is clearly felt. Suddenly, those who once took up her time are left puzzled about why they are no longer included in her life. This shift isn't about being proud or self-centered. It's about valuing herself. She knows her time is precious and chooses not to spend it on things that don't match her ambitions or values. Instead, she invests her energy in what truly matters: her career, passions, personal development, or simply living life on her own terms. Her schedule mirrors what she values most. She avoids meetings that aren't necessary, friends who don't genuinely care, and commitments that waste her time. She concentrates intensely on what matters, and anyone who can't match her pace gets left behind. It's not about being harsh, it's about surviving. By managing her time wisely, she's in complete command of her life, and the benefits are clear. She flourishes, succeeds, and transforms, while those who used to sap her strength are left puzzled by her change. The explanation is straightforward. She values her time immensely, and her value is just as non-negotiable. Number 4. She removes toxic relationships without hesitation. When a Sigma female decides she's had enough of people who drain her emotionally, she leaves quietly. She doesn't cause a fuss, give warnings, or offer long explanations. She just disappears, leaving a gap that's both mysterious and obvious. Those who sucked her energy, whether by being overly negative, manipulative, or selfish, find themselves abruptly cut off, puzzled by her sudden departure. Her choice isn't made on a whim, it's thoughtful. A Sigma female knows herself well and can tell when others are using her without giving back. She won't spend time trying to change people who don't want to improve or carry burdens that aren't hers. Once she sees that a relationship is unbalanced and exhausting, she puts herself first without feeling sorry. The real power of her method is in its silent decisiveness. She doesn't argue, defend her actions, or seek closure, because she knows that often explanations are ignored. Instead, she quietly takes back her emotional freedom. The lack of commotion makes a powerful statement, leaving those who took from her without anything to hold on to. And here's the key point. Her departure makes a significant impact. Those who underestimated her value suddenly realize how significant she was. They often don't realize until it's too late that she was their pillar of calm, strength, and stability amidst their turmoil. But by that time, she has already moved on, feeling lighter and more free, concentrating on what's truly important. For the Sigma female, cutting off relationships isn't mean. It's a way to protect herself. She treasures her peace so much that she won't allow anyone to disrupt it. Her quietness speaks volumes, and her departure serves as a shock to those left behind. a wake-up call they never saw coming. Once she departs, there's no turning back, and the remorse that remains teaches a harsh lesson about the consequences of taking for granted someone remarkable who decides enough is enough. Number 5. Her attention becomes as sharp as a laser beam. When a Sigma female stops worrying about things that don't help her, she gains an incredible level of focus. Free from the distractions of drama, negative people, and pointless tasks, her energy sharpens and she focuses entirely on her aims. She no longer spends time on trivial matters. Instead, she makes every choice with purpose and every step with intent. This isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter. With all the emotional clutter gone, her vision is clear, and she can see her path better than anyone else. Her priorities are solid, and she overcomes challenges with a resolve that can seem almost daunting. While others may be hindered by doubts, outside pressures, or pointless comparisons, she remains focused solely on her goals. Her determination drives her forward quickly, leaving others trying to keep up. Her success is not a matter of luck or taking shortcuts. It comes from her discipline, careful planning, and deep belief in herself. No longer concerned with what others think, she judges her value by her own standards, not by what others expect. Each success is well-deserved, and every achievement highlights her steadfast dedication to her goals. This change is clear. People start to notice how much she achieves. She doesn't need to say a word. Her achievements do all the talking, much louder than words ever could. And what's truly remarkable, she isn't trying to show off to anyone, she's doing it all for herself. When a Sigma female zeroes in on her goals, there's no stopping her. She doesn't just compete, she sets her own pace and excels in her unique path. Those who once doubted her soon realize they were never in the same league. Her sharp focus, relentless drive, and accomplishments serve as powerful proof of what she can do when she concentrates her efforts and ignores any distractions. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, everyone, for being such a treasured part of this community. Your unwavering support and encouragement fuel my passion to create meaningful content. I'm truly grateful for each of you. Number 6. She stops softening the truth. When a Sigma female no longer cares, she stops choosing her words to spare someone's pride. The niceties vanish, leaving behind nothing but pure, unfiltered truth. She's not trying to wound anyone, but she refuses to dance around delicate emotions or act like all is well when it isn't. Her language becomes sharp, slicing through falseness and illusion as if with a knife. This change isn't about being harsh, it's about being necessary. She prioritizes truth over comfort and clarity over chaos. If there's a problem, she points it out. If someone is behaving wrongly, she doesn't hold back her thoughts. She doesn't spend effort on softening her statements because she believes that growth often comes from confronting reality directly. Her stark honesty acts as a mirror, making others face what they've been ignoring. For some, her directness is a much-needed alarm. They admire her for being one of the rare ones who speak things as they are. However, for others, her truthfulness is painful. Those who have been cocooned in falsehoods or used to her earlier forbearance might find her straightforwardness too tough to bear. Yet, the Sigma female doesn't worry about how her honesty is taken. She isn't here to make everyone comfortable or act politely just to avoid conflict. Her words have a strong effect, not because they are harsh, but because they're truthful. They slice through confusion and stay in the thoughts of those who listen. Even if people don't acknowledge it immediately, they eventually understand that her frankness stems from a place of courage and honesty. When this Sigma woman stops softening the harsh realities, she challenges everyone around her to either rise to the occasion or move out of the way. By doing this, she builds a world where only honesty and those who can face it survive. Number 7. She learns how to let go with ease. When a Sigma female no longer cares, she becomes exceptionally good at letting go without losing her poise, and it's both empowering and steady. She stops holding on to people, situations, or ideas just because she's used to them, feels obligated, or is scared of change. Instead, she uses her emotional smarts, realizing that not everything and everyone is supposed to be a part of her life forever. This change isn't harsh, it's done on purpose. She figures out which relationships help her grow and which ones pull her down. She no longer makes room in her thoughts or heart for people who bring negativity, harmful relationships, and beliefs that limit her. She moves on, not because she's mad, but because she respects herself. She knows that clinging to what doesn't help her only holds her back, and she's not ready to trade her future for the sake of staying comfortable with what's known. Being detached doesn't mean she completely stops caring. It means she no longer ties her self-esteem to outcomes or needing others' approval. She learns to be okay with not knowing everything ahead, to trust in herself, even when the future isn't clear. She isn't afraid of losing people or chances because she knows that the right things will stick around and the wrong ones will go away, no matter how hard she tries to keep them. By learning to let go, she finds freedom. Freedom from having to make everyone happy, prove her worth, or hold on to things that hurt more than they help. This clear mindset lets her advance with sureness and sharp focus, free from the burden of emotional clutter. Her power comes from her ability to detach. Steadfast and strong, she's not scared to leave behind anything that doesn't match her goals. Others might think she's cold, but really, she's just guarding her tranquility and clearing the way for the life she truly wants to live. Number 8. Her limits become unbreakable. When a Sigma female stops caring, her limits become extremely firm, like metal shaped in intense heat. She loses interest in explaining herself, making deals, or changing to please others. Her boundaries are firm, and crossing them is not allowed. This change arises from clear understanding, not anger. She knows that she must protect her own energy, time, and peace, and it becomes essential, not just preferable. She no longer accepts being disrespected, manipulated, or overlooked. Instead, she maintains her limits with quiet, strong certainty, leaving no chance for argument. For some, this transformation is startling. Those who once took advantage of her generosity or ignored her boundaries now encounter a version of her they can't recognize. She doesn't raise her voice or argue. She just says no and holds her ground without regret. Attempts to make her feel guilty or sway her no longer work, as she's unaffected by emotional tricks or hollow promises. Her solid boundaries apply to every part of her life: personal relationships, work, and her own behaviors. She's ready to leave behind anyone or anything that challenges her boundaries, even if it means being on her own. She believes that losing her own identity is much worse than upsetting others. Her strong boundaries come from how firmly she maintains them, calmly and without unnecessary fuss. She trusts in her value and guards it zealously, without seeking anyone else's approval for her choices. When a Sigma woman sets solid boundaries, it's not to push people away, but rather to make room for what's really important to her, making sure she never sacrifices her principles again. Number 9. She no longer accepts anything less than the best. When a Sigma female loses interest, she no longer tolerates anything less than the best in her life. She begins to view everything, relationships, careers, habits, and even her own thoughts, with stark clarity. If something does not fit with her principles or goals, she promptly removes it. There's no delay, no regret, no doubt. She refuses to settle for just okay when she knows she can achieve greatness. This decision to let go is not based on emotion. It's a logical choice. She realizes that accepting mediocrity is like a slow poison that saps her energy, creativity, and potential. Whether it's a relationship going nowhere, a job that doesn't fulfill her, or routines that keep her stagnant, she drops them without regret. Her standards elevate, improving her quality of life significantly. She's no longer interested in holding on to things just because they're comfortable or expected. Every decision must have a clear purpose, or she doesn't consider it worth her time. Her new refusal to accept anything less than the best might unsettle those around her. People used to her flexibility or willingness to compromise might be taken aback by her newfound resoluteness. She isn't here to pamper anyone or justify her actions. She's here to lead a life that shows her true value, and she has no time for anything less than great. By not accepting the ordinary, the Sigma female makes room for the best. Relationships that motivate her, work that pushes her, and routines that lift her up. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being genuine and deliberate. She doesn't just seek improvement, she embodies it, becoming a role model that impresses everyone. Her rejection of mediocrity is firm. It's a bold statement of self-worth and a pledge to live life on her own terms. Number 10. Her energy starts drawing the right people to her. When a Sigma female stops trying to please everyone, her energy changes, turning what used to feel like a hard battle to blend into a powerful pull that attracts the right kind of people. She stops looking for approval from those who don't get her, and when she drops that need, she shines like a light for those who value her boldness, independence, and realness. This shift isn't about impressing others or pretending to be someone she's not. She doesn't run after friendships. Rather, she lets them develop naturally, radiating a confidence that's infectious. The more she accepts her true self, the more she draws in people who love her just as she is. There's no pretending, no tricks. Her presence is genuine, steady, and bold. And this genuine nature is what the right people are attracted to. Those who understand her true self, not who they wish she would be, start showing up in her life. They respect her need for independence, admire how she can take care of herself, and recognize that her worth doesn't come from pleasing others. These individuals don't expect her to conform to any standard. They appreciate the power in her independence and are captivated by her sincerity. The people drawn to her care not only about what she can offer them, they care about her as a person. They want to spend time with someone who never compromises, who stays true to her convictions, and who respects herself enough to leave situations that don't suit her journey. As she realizes this, the Sigma female discovers that by not trying to make everyone happy, she has gathered a group that really matches her vibe. The more she accepts who she really is, the more she finds the right kind of people showing up in her life. She understands now that she doesn't have to seek their approval. They're already here, and they understand her completely. Number 11. She finds joy in simplicity. When a Sigma female stops caring, she rediscovers the beauty in life's simplest moments. No longer distracted by trying to meet others' expectations, she begins to notice the little things, like the calm of a quiet morning, the warmth of a heartfelt conversation, or the freedom of doing what she truly loves. She doesn't need extravagant experiences or constant excitement to feel fulfilled. Instead, she cherishes the things that bring her genuine happiness, no matter how small they seem. This shift allows her to connect deeply with herself and the world around her, creating a life that feels rich, peaceful, and meaningful. By letting go of unnecessary noise, she opens space for true joy to flow into her life. Number 12. She inspires others without trying. When a Sigma female stops caring, she becomes a source of inspiration for those around her. Her strength, independence, and authenticity create a ripple effect, encouraging others to embrace their own truth. She doesn't go out of her way to motivate people. Her actions speak for themselves. Seeing her live boldly and unapologetically gives others the courage to do the same. They admire her ability to prioritize her peace and chase her dreams, and they learn from her example without needing her to explain it. By simply being herself, she shows others what's possible when you stop caring about fitting in and start living for yourself. When a Sigma female stops worrying about others, she unlocks a strength that many can't even dream of. Everything around her changes, and she transforms too. Free from the burden of others' expectations and the desire for their approval, she chooses a life led entirely on her own terms. Her tranquility becomes her top concern, her limits become unbreakable, and her concentration intensifies, making it hard for others to keep pace. The true transformation begins when she disregards others' opinions. She liberates herself. She no longer adheres to anyone else's expectations, nor does she spend time with those who do not contribute positively to her life. She evolves into a powerhouse, remarkably strong, genuinely authentic, and incredibly self-sufficient. The fact is, she doesn't rely on anyone else's affirmation because she's already recognized her own value. She is the master of her destiny, and everything she does is crafted by her own hands. If you identify as a Sigma female, let this be your cue. You've always possessed this power. It has always been there, waiting for the moment you chose to let go of what holds you back. This is the moment to fully embrace your freedom and confidently stand strong without doubt or needing to say sorry. The world is yours to achieve. Stay focused and don't let anything or anyone take you off the path you've decided to follow. If you're ready to live confidently and stop allowing anyone or anything to decide your value, now is the moment to act. Don't stress over little things or worry about what others think of you. Focus on what feels right for who you truly are. Your life is your story. Take charge and make it your own. Thanks everyone for watching. Catch you in the next video. Bye, stay blessed, and as always, until next time.